to Jolly. So, Jolly John, hello, good afternoon, Father Simon, my confession. Now, I'm doing this one because it's all about a school trip, and we've all been on school trips, and we all know that teachers enjoy them as long. It kind of depends how the kids behave.
Yes.
So, Jolly John is a teacher. And my confession, Father Simon, relates to a time when I was a teacher in the late 1990s. I was actually the pastoral head of upper school in a rather rough secondary school in East Hull. Okay, just setting the scene for you. Although a rough school, I was always very proud of our pupils, especially when out of school on any educational or reward visits. My motto was always, treat all pupils with respect, and they will return such respect. So let me set the scene. At the end of each school academic year, my school organised an activities day where staff would offer a range of activities in and out of school that pupils could sign up for. By far the most popular was the trip to Flamingo Land theme park in North Yorkshire. Every year, it was obvious that many, many other schools offered exactly the same end-of-term reward for their pupils, as no matter where, when, what day we went in mid-July, the park was always heaving with school groups, causing very long queues for the most popular rides. As such, we lectured our pupils beforehand and on arrival to behave, and in particular, be respectful towards members of the public. I can honestly say that in the 6 or so years that I arranged and attended this activity, never once did any member of the public approach me or my colleagues to complain about our pupils' behaviour. At this point, I'm thinking, Jolly John, you have portrayed yourself incredibly well. We realise that you and your school are fabulous, and that all your pupils are fabulous too.
It's going to go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's sort of not really, because the thing is, clearly Jolly John and his teachers are super smart. Obviously, he says one of the perks of attending such a visit was that school staff could also enjoy the rides on the park, once pupils were briefed on health and safety, obviously. The most popular ride at the time was called The Ultimate, the fastest theme park ride in the UK at the time. Therefore, when myself and 3 colleagues visited the ride, the queue was probably, get this, 300 metres long.
Okay,
that's going to take like most of your trip, isn't it, to hang around for? That's a long old queue. Jolly John says we queued for ages and everyone was getting fed up given the time it was taking. Right behind us in the queue were 2 pupils from another school. As we got nearer to the front of the queue, they tried to let 4 of their friends join them. The people behind them kicked right off, but the pupils just said that they'd been saving them their places. I think we've all had experiences like that.
Not how it works.
You can't push in there.
No.
I was keeping their space.
No.
But that's what happened here. A heated argument started between them all, with the school pupils using language that shocked the members of the public behind them, and me, I might add. At that point, I had an idea. This is where Jolly John shows what a fine teacher he is or was. I beckoned to the people behind the unruly school kids to come forward to me. "Thundering typhoons," said the children. "What the blazes do you think you're doing, mister?" And they shook their fist at me.
Yeah.
"Sorry, young man," I said. "I've been saving places for these people," I replied.
Yes.
The pupils shrugged their shoulders, knowing that they'd been outwitted. Ha-ha. I then whispered something to my new friends in the queue. They then summoned the next people behind the little scallywags. Should we use that word?
Yes.
As they were saving their places in the queue, and this happened again and again and again.
Well done.
I'm just saving a place. Do you guys want to come in? 20 of you? That's fine. Move on in. Sorry, just keeping the space. Yeah, I know you'll understand. By now, the commotion had caused other pupils from the Scallywag School, as it's known, to gather round, and they could see what was happening. Within a few minutes, the Scallywags were 50 metres further back down the queue. So long, losers. Their schoolmates were laughing and pointing at them, and I've always realised how ridiculed the Scallywags must have felt. This is where Jolly John is feeling a little bit guilty.
Yeah.
In the end, the Scallywags left the queue. They gave up completely, but 2 of them came to the front of the queue to find me. I bet they did. One shared with me a lot of interesting Anglo-Saxon, whilst the other just said, "Nice one, mate," because that's how they speak in East Hull.
Yeah.
Treat all pupils with respect, and they will return such respect, says Jolly John. Perhaps went out of the window at that moment, and I hope that none of the scallywags, who of course would now be in their mid-30s, were damaged by the event that day. If they were, then I'm responsible, and I should apologise to seek forgiveness. I kind of think I know which way this is going to go as far as the forgiveness is concerned, because everyone's going to go, "Jolly John and all your teachers, that was a pretty good wheeze, and in future I'm going to remember that when people try to be, I'm sorry, yes, I'm just keeping a space." Sister Susie, back from the pub, what do you say?
Well, Jolly John, I kind of see what you're doing, you know. Everyone hates a queue jumper. It's just, you know, saving space. No, you wasn't saving their space. Get back to the back. However, you did have one rule for your pupils and one rule for you. But no harm done. I think they deserved it. I'll forgive.
No harm, no foul, I think,
There you
as
go.
has been said
harm,
before.
No
what
foul.
What do you say?
Well, they were
Matthew?
flouting the law of the queue, weren't they? And where I am very much in Jolly John's corner is once you've made your point, you make it, and then you get real petty real quick. And that's how I make my points. I get real petty real quick. So I am definitely going to forgive. Flamingo Land's great, by the way. I think